welcome to Crypto Waffle, episode 23. I am Cryptosis, generally the co-host, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. And this is Alex, who today is my assistant, but I'm leading the charge today. Our three topics are going to be the OM, which is mantra, Rugpull, whether it was a rug pull or not. We're going to dive into that. We're also going to discuss a new business idea that Cryptosis has had that I want to get Alex's live reaction to so I've not said anything.
There's no predetermined stuff here. This is
No.
I don't have a clue what he's going to say.
Yeah, this is true. This is true waffle. It will be like family friendly. Don't worry. And finally, TON, the sleeper of 2025. So,
Indeed.
Alex,
Should we kick it off with what everyone is probably asking about, and that is OM?
I think we should.
From what I understand, it's not dead, but I could be wrong.
Okay, so
Would you like to explain to the ladies and gentlemen what has happened?
Okay, so I've got an OTN cap on. It's the closest thing I could find to OM. We'll put it around back so that it works nicely with the lighting. All right, so OM is a RWA play. I'm going to share my screen so that I can show you guys the chart and you can see exactly what happened and why everybody who's involved with OM is a little bit upset today, and everybody else is feeling a bit sorry for them. All right, let's get this screen up. Let's get rid of that. Let's go here. This is the job. Mantra. So this is the last 24 hours.
Ooh, look at that.
As you can see, it's fallen off a cliff. So we're down 91% in the last 24 hours. But that 91% happened in the course of between 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock. Right.
I was literally watching the Masters last night and I just saw my Twitter going absolutely ham saying OM is noon 2.0.
Yeah. So everyone's saying it was like either a rug pull or an exploit, but the plot has thickened. So immediately after it's happened, the founder, the most public person in the entire project, who is a guy called, let's see if I can find him here. It's JP. Here he is, JP Mullin.
Wasn't he meant to be at one of the French crypto things last week?
He was saying that he was in Asia at the time.
Oh.
He was saying that he was in Asia at the time. So the news came out and immediately people started to say, well, the team have sold and it's a massive rug pull, which didn't really add up because the project's been going for over 5 years. It's an RWA project. If you go into rug pull, you generally wait. If you wait 5 years, you're going to wait another 3 or 4 months when the project's worth 3 to 4 times what it is worth now. But it happened. A lot of news came out blaming JP Mullin immediately. It was the first name that I saw was, this guy is the guy behind it. Like,
yeah, I saw that Binance.
Yeah, get your pitchforks out and let's go and get them. Well, it turns out that it wasn't Binance. It turns out it was OKEx. That's the one I've been seeing a lot. And these guys, Laser Digital. So what people are saying now, I don't know if this is true or not. I don't want to get into any bother. But what people are saying is that Laser Digital loaded up loads of OM just before everything went pear-shaped. Laser Digital have responded. But what Laser Digital have done is they've shown a lot of Cosmos or IBC, their mainnet chains addresses. And they're saying this is where our allocation is. But if I can find them, the accusations labeled at them are people showing the the ERC20 tokens. So Mantra had this strange thing whereby they released their token on Ethereum before they released their mainnet. So they had an Ethereum token for a long time, a number of years, an ERC20 before they released their own L1, and then had their own Mantra token, which is not an Ethereum token. It's a IBC, Cosmos IBC token. So some people are saying that Laser Digital made 31 million short in OM yesterday. It's a massive mess. It's a massive mess. There is one last thing I want to quickly show, if people want to go and make up their own mind about it, is that there was a really good interview which I watched by these guys, Coinage. So these guys got this man on, and they had a full-on interview with him, which is here, which I won't play out loud. But they've had an interview with the guy. This is the JP Mullin guy, and they interview him fully. And
he's the founder, is that correct?
Yeah, he's one of the co-founders. And this guy, the guy interviewing him, it seems like it's going to be quite a soft interview, and then it gets quite sticky towards the end. So what JP Mullin effectively says in this interview is that he feels that the exchange was in on it, and he doesn't want to say who the exchange is, but other people have been saying OKEx. So he doesn't want to say who the exchange is, but he thinks the exchange are in on it because he feels like the exchange were liquidating people without giving them a chance to pay their debt. Yes. And it all happened during a Sunday night when we know crazy stuff happens over the weekend all the time because it's a low liquidity environment. And this is what the JP Mullin guy is saying. He's saying that he feels like it's a coordinated attack on the Mantra project by...
So it's not exactly a Luna 2.0.
No, it's nothing like Luna, apart from the fact that the price dropped. Because Luna was obviously the mechanism broke with the staking, not the staking, the stable coin that they had.
Yeah.
But with this is completely different. This is a case of somebody's got a massive position on Mantra. Not many people really trade Mantra, especially not in low liquidity environments. They could then push the price down fast enough for it to make cascading liquidations on the longs, and the price just kept on dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping.
Because I mean, I'm looking at a chart here, and if you weren't to tell me anything that's happened overnight, I would have just said, okay, it's just a nice retest of some prior support, even though it probably looks god awful.
That would make sense, because eventually you're going to find some support level if you go down far enough and you're not selling absolutely everything, and that's probably what's happened. They've probably gone back to a level that they were at when they very, very first started.
Yeah, I'll share my screen quickly just so people can see what I'm looking at here. That it doesn't look too concerning in the broader scheme of things. I mean, obviously that's a fat drop. Like, you've come, I mean, what is that, from highs of around $9? It's a 95% correction. Like, that's savage.
Yeah. The fact that it happened in a few hours, it probably wouldn't be the fact that you've gone back to test that line. It's the fact that you've gone back to test it in a straight line down.
Yeah, there's no structure to it.
Yeah, if that would have happened over over a year, that happened over a year, then you'd be like, okay, well, you know.
So thinking about that now, obviously not financial advice, but would the trade be to now load this shit back up? Because if they haven't fundamentally blown up like, say, Luna has, obviously they're completely different. And the project hasn't died, they're still doing what they do. It's just the price.
Yeah.
Surely this is a buy here.
That would be the logic. However, I thought of that when I finished doing I was doing some coding earlier. When I finished doing the coding, I thought of that. And I looked at the price at the time, and I think the price was maybe 70 cents. and it's gone down from 70 cents down to 50. So
Yeah.
I don't know how many more people haven't seen this and panic sold yet. And there might be more people waiting to panic sell.
See, I think the panic sell's already happened, looking at that.
Maybe that second leg down. Because if you look...
I think it would have been in the first leg, because realistically, like if I think of an average Joe, right, they've probably got their OM on an exchange, whether it be Binance, Kraken, or any of the big ones. And we also know what they're going to have on notifications. So if their notifications are popping off and they're going, OM's down 20% an hour, oh my God, it's now down 40%, then you're thinking, oh shit, OM, why is it doing this? I'm just getting out, I'm done. So I think a lot of them are people that would have sold are already out.
Yeah.
And that's just me obviously trying to put my, okay, I'm a normie, what would I do in this scenario? If I've seen notifications of something down 50% an hour, I'm gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that being said, I would say yes. So the question would be, is the L1 still working? Are they still securing real world assets as they said they were going to? The JP Mullin guy in his interview, he said they are going to start doing a buyback and burn scheme to try to support the token price. When he also said that they're going to actually do a full audit and like find out exactly what happened and be transparent about it.
Yeah.
When he was pushed on that, it did just sound like he was saying buzzwords kind of thing, because the interviewer did say to him, okay, well, let's call it a clean slate, be transparent. Who are the market makers? And he was like, oh, well, you know, and he just started talking sideways.
This is what I don't get. If someone asks you a straight up question, answer with a straight up response.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, there's some sort of legal stuff that he can't say for whatever reason. Like there might be something that we don't know that he can't obviously give out the information, but I would have thought he could just say it.
If I'm honest with you, after your project's had 91%, if it was my project, legal ramifications are going out the window. I'm doing a Kanye West. I don't know about it. I'm just gonna say it. I'm like at that point, because the night before I was worth 10 times what I'm worth now because someone's robbed me. You think I'm gonna be quiet about it? I'm naming names.
But is he only being quiet about it because he knows these bigger people are the only people that can maybe get him back to where they were? Because if you think about it, without them, how's he going to get it back? Because he still needs the people and the big exchanges to do what they do.
Yeah.
So maybe he's having to bite his tongue.
Yeah. So, but that's more logic and sense than I would deploy in this situation. I would be furious, and I would just answer the question. I would say these are the market makers. These are the people who had the thing. These are the people who are doing the selling on the exchanges, because he probably knows that. And do what you want with the information. I don't care, because they shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
And that's that. But for whatever reason, like maybe you're right. Maybe he is thinking long term. He's not answering.
I mean, like you say, the project's been around 4 odd years as it is.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. So it's not like it's a new project that was only out 6 months ago.
Well, we've seen this lots of times before when something has broken or the price has gone down for a certain reason. Now, generally, if there's an exploit, that's generally bad, or as bad as it can be. Now, in this scenario, it wasn't an exploit. It was literally just bad tokenomics. Too many of the tokens were held in the hands of too few people. Mantra is RWA. People would have mostly bought it because of what it represents. I doubt if very many people are actually using it. It would be interesting actually to see. I don't know if I can. What their thing revenue is. Let's see.
That BMD for Llama.
It might be. Yeah, I'm just checking now.
Mantra.
Yeah, I can't. Oh, here we go. Yep, fees. No, that's not on there.
Well, no fees on mine either.
No, it's not showing the fee revenue. But anyway, point being, if it's a project that can stay alive, then I would say probably yes, this might be a brilliant place to buy. He also said that they've had a 90% drop before. Now, the chart you just showed is a better chart than any that I've seen, because I saw it on the chart.
I mean, he could have, in the sense, so let me share my screen again. There we go, boom, boom. All right, so this is the OM chart again. This is the 90% that we've just seen in literally a day.
Yeah.
We are on a weekly chart here. Could he be saying a 90% drop from the top here down to the bear market low? Because in that case, yes, he's seen a 98% on drop. Yeah. So he's not wrong. No. But it's just this one's happened overnight. That one has happened in, I mean, how long a time period is that? Approximately 938 days. So 2 years.
3 days?
3 years.
3 years, so?
Yeah.
Almost 3 years.
So, yeah, he's not wrong. They've been through one, but not at this speed. And I think speed will play a big part of it, because people will be, and if, like I said, I did earlier, I thought when I was driving and I was seeing these notifications coming through, I'm thinking, shit, this is a Luna 2.0. And if you're a holder of this, I mean, thankfully we're not. If you're a holder of this and you saw what happened to Luna, you're shitting yourself. Yeah. There's no if, buts, or maybes. That PTSD is going to be right in the front of your head going like, out, out, out. Yeah. So
Luna is so recent as well. People remember it for being the thing that was the last big crash.
I mean, that and FTX.
Yeah. So I don't know. Is it a good time to buy it now? Obviously, not financial advice, but
I think your risk to reward's good here. I'd buy spot. I wouldn't get fancy with leverage or I'd just buy some spot positions. And I mean, you're 50, I mean, let's assume it's going to get back to around all-time highs. You're buying at 50 cents, which it is now. You're looking at a 16x.
If.
Yeah. I think that's worth a couple $100.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
non-financial advice.
In reality, it probably is. But I think before you made a move like that, you would have to go and see if the product worked. You'd have to go and try it out, see what kind of assets you can get on there. Because I'm sure when I went and looked...
What do they actually do? Because I don't actually know what they do.
Right, so they've got their own... They're supposed to be a real-world asset thing. So I'm assuming you can buy and sell either tokenized representations of actual things. But looking at their website now, going into the actual ecosystem, I can see one protocol which is supposed to be...
Apparently 90% of the tokens are locked by themselves as well. And there's only like 20% of them out, as I saw that as well.
And it's on some sort of vested schedule.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got the unlock schedule in front of me. Let me share. Share screen. So if some of you guys don't know, on CoinMarketCap, you can get your unlock schedule, which some tokens, not all, displayed on it, as you can see. It basically tells you at what rate airdrops and all this sort of stuff. So the OM airdrops start in, well, around Jan 26-ish, and go all the way out till, when's that? 2030, I believe.
Yeah, 2029.
So that's the unlock schedule. You've got some stuff here. Mantra token unlocks here. So 50% is EVM OM legacy. OM upgrade 17.5%. Team and core contribute 17%.
So he was saying that those tokens are still locked because the initial thing that came out was that the team had sold.
Because apparently there's only 51% unlocked. So still 46.6% of it's still locked up.
Yeah. Does it still seem like a good plan to buy?
I think short term there is the rewards there. I wouldn't be saying no.
So this is the way I used to see it, right? Which doesn't happen so much now. But the way I would have seen it was this thing has got a GitHub. You can go to the GitHub. So what is there that is really defensible besides the TVL that was there? What else was really defensible? Anyone can go out tomorrow and make another mantra chain without the 50% overhead and the previous 90% scarring that everyone's gone through. So why would you put your money into a mantra when you could put your money into mantra's replacement? Let's imagine there's room in the ecosystem for 4 really big RWA chains.
So I'll tell you why. Why would I put $200 in that?
Yeah.
Because there's a 16% upside and there's already a mass amount of attention on it. Whereas if something new starts, you need that to build an online presence. You're going to need them to do some good marketing. Like exchange, integrate. Yeah. These guys have already been there, done that. They know how the game works. They've been in the space long enough as well.
There's also an era of naivety that they could have got themselves into the position where someone can rug them for it. Yeah. And do you say, okay, well, the fact that they've been through it means that they probably won't fall for it again, whereas a new team might fall for it? Or do you say this is proof of their incompetence?
Possibly.
If they weren't involved.
But then again, from the point of view that I'm looking at, it can't get much worse from here, can it? Unless it literally just dies.
Unless it literally just dies.
That is the worst case scenario.
Even if it just dies, let's see where is Terra Luna these days? Terra Luna Classic. Terra Luna.
I don't even know how people still buy that.
It's still $320 million.
I know, it's mental.
Terra Luna Classic is not much smaller than Mantra is right now.
Yeah. So will it just be a slow, painful death like Terra Luna 2.0?
I don't know.
But not financial advice though, but I'll probably come away from this and would have put something in it.
I'm just going to quickly share. This is the Terra Luna chart.
It's just bringing back bad memories, isn't it?
Do we think the OM chart could end up looking like this? Well, in reality, the OM chart hasn't dropped this far. Like you said, it hasn't dropped to the support level. So it's like it's dropped to maybe, I don't know, about this high.
Well, I don't know. That's not on a log, so I don't know if it's fair to say that. But yeah, I get what you mean. Let me have a...
You get what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I suppose, it's not on a thing, is it? So, all right. Well, anyway, let's move on.
Okay. No, I'll tell you. Yeah. Look, this chart is absolutely fucked. Oh my God. Let me share this. I have to share this. Holy shit. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, but whoever bought down there, they've done all right.
Yeah, but down there.
You had to have some...
Would that even have triggered? I don't even... Because I actually bought some on the way down. Like, I couldn't tell you what price I got at. I could not tell you. But I didn't understand it at all. And I thought, well, they turned this thing around here. My couple £100 or whatever it was at the time is going to be 15, 20, 30 grand. So I thought, happy days. Or it's zero. And obviously it went to zero. But still, I thought the upside was still there.
Yeah.
And it has just been, since recovery, a long, slow, painful death, effectively.
Yeah.
So,
Well worth shorting. I wonder if you can short.
you wouldn't want to be shorting that now. The move's done.
Well, you, the one that just said a long, painful death.
So you're going to hold us short for 2 years?
For the rest of eternity.
Yeah, I wouldn't even bother.
See, and I wonder if there was. I wonder if there was any unusual interest on hyperliquid during this massive liquidation spiral.
Possibly.
Yeah, I know. I'm being really speculative now. Anyway, let's move on because we're trying to.
Yeah. Right, go on. Business ideas. Hit me with it. I have not heard what he's about to say at all. So this is the first time we've talked about it.
So, as we haven't yet publicly divulged, we're doing our own special crypto consultancy firm, which we will.
Wow, so we're talking our business ideas.
Yes, yeah.
I thought you were telling me some new ones of yours.
So we're doing that. So we're doing our crypto consulting firm. Now, I also have a separate show which I do called DAO Watch, where we look at DAOs. So this morning I woke up and I do that show with a guy called Klaus, and I was like, right, Klaus, so when are we going to do our next show? Blah, blah, blah. And Klaus hit me with, let me see if I can find it. I can't find a proposal. But anyway, Arbitrum have got this proposal. He's from Arbitrum. Arbitrum is like a well-known L2, like an Ethereum scaling solution. So it's another network, kind of. And they've got a DAO. And what they're trying to do is kind of replace the DAO with a bunch of different little teams that all are aligned to do the same, to do the things that the DAO needs. The people who are already the delegates or voting in the DAO, they're upset because they're like, well, we're supposed to be the ones that vote and control stuff. Yeah. The people who are pushing it through is like Arbitrum Foundation and all of like the whales. And they're like, just shut up, peasants, and leave us to the orbit. So then I had this idea whereby I know that when you're running a DAO, it's difficult for outside companies to come in and understand how things work, especially if they're not crypto savvy.
Yeah.
So I thought, would it be a good extension to our consultancy practice for us to also go ahead and start to consult projects on how to raise funds via DAOs? And that led me to how much scope is there at the moment in helping to educate companies in how to get into crypto and hold crypto
on their balance sheets.
Yes.
Now that is a question I've asked myself for ages, because there's nothing out there. I've talked to many business owners, especially in the UK, and it is impossible as of current, from what I hear. And I've talked to hedge fund managers at UBS, like all the big ones, and they not even they offer anything. The only way that there is, I think there's a way now in the UK that you can put it on a pension, but I think you have to hold a personal pension, that is, because I think you can put it on the BlackRock Bitcoin ETFs. Or the only other way I think you play it as well is that you have a SIP, so a self-invested personal pension, where you choose where your pension money goes. But from a company point of view, the UK, I believe, is going to be one of the most difficult to try and do that in.
Well, and that's the thing. So all over the world, there are other, because there's MicroStrategy, obviously, which is a company known for just buying Bitcoin and holding Bitcoin. They don't do anything else. But there's other ones, like there's some new Japanese company that's just popped up now, and they're doing the same thing where they're just buying Bitcoin.
There's a biotech one as well called Semler Scientific. They buy Bitcoin, stick it on their balance sheet.
Tesla put it on their balance sheet. If you could do it in America, which is obviously
Well, they've now got a pro-crypto president, might help the fact, but I mean,
they were at it before though.
I don't know how you'd even do that in the UK. Like, the UK is so difficult to do anything, especially at big size. Like, even on a personal level, when I talk to clients and go and meet clients, it is difficult. Like, there's only 2 or 3 bank accounts that you can recommend in the UK. Santander absolutely hate crypto exchanges. Like, Barclays will block you on 1 transaction, and then you have to spend 2 hours on the phone talking to them. And then you've got to send off selfies and whatnot as well. Like, okay, that's all there for a very good reason, because there's a lot of scams out there as well, and there is. But it is a pain in the arse. So I can't imagine that it's even worth the aggro for some of these big firms in the UK to even try and take that step.
It 100% is, because if you've got a balance sheet and you're holding you've got a cash surplus of any type, and you manage to get it into crypto, you're going to be much better off than you are anything else.
I think that would be easier if your business was to have part of it outside of borders, if that makes sense. You know, when business have like an office in wherever it is, Dubai, or like the offshore countries.
Yeah.
If they have one off there, I think you could do it. But I think if they're just a UK business, I think it'd be very hard.
So how about this then? We know that in Europe, they've got legislation. They've got quite a big and extensive framework called MiCA, right? So we know that there is a framework for crypto to exist. We also know that you can have a business related even residency in certain places like Estonia or whatnot, and you don't have to physically be there, or you know that you can have your business set up in other countries. So the route would more than likely almost certainly be offshore bank.
Would it be easier to do it for a trust?
I don't think so, because you'd still have the UK bank problem. I think the UK bank problem is the problem. Now that's when you start to consider how either you want to realize the value of the crypto, or you may not want to. You may just borrow against it, as MicroStrategy do, or when you want to transfer the funds to collect the crypto. Because if you're banking at the moment in the UK with Barclays and you say, okay, yeah, it's a great idea. Well, let's just go and get some Bitcoin, shall we? I'll tell you how. Then you're going to call Barclays. Barclays are going to say, yeah, fine. And then the next time you go and buy some stationery, you're going to realize that your Barclays don't love you anymore. And that's that. So you're gonna need the offshore banking for a start. And then
I think it's definitely a good thing to offer. It's just, I think, having the knowledge and the network and to do it, because there'll be a lot of people involved.
Banking, legal, and then custody. I think.
Well, legal can be done by AI, so that's kind of that done.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Until it goes to court, but yeah,
you need the final tick and approval, obviously, from a proper lawyer. But the front end of that, the write up, we can do ourselves.
Yeah. So you get it done by AI. Let's say you get it done by AI. New Gemini 2.5 Pro. Get that out. Take it to an actual lawyer. Instead of him writing it for you, say, is this right or not? And he'll probably charge you his hourly rate. So that's $5,000 or whatever the hell that is. So you pay your $5,000. The next thing you've got to worry about is a bank account, which will allow you to transfer to crypto. You'll probably find one abroad. Like, there will be countries that...
I know Cyprus have got quite a few.
There'll be some, right? And then finally, you'd need someone to custody your Bitcoin or your crypto. So there'd have to be a custody company that you would need. Now, all we need to know is those 3 things.
As to who's to put them in contact with as well.
Yeah, that's all we need to know, those 3 things. And then we just charge.
I like that. I do like it.
So
I think we nail what we've got though first. Let's not run before we can walk.
Okay, that's sensible.
Let's nail what we do first, because we know we do that well.
Yeah.
And then obviously we can always add additions. Okay.
Yeah, added to your services tab.
Yeah. I mean, for people that don't know what's going on behind the scenes, there is going to be a Crypto Waffle VIP Telegram channel. Now, I know you're going, oh, they're just like everyone else. They just started a Telegram channel. It's going to cost $400 a month, blah, blah, blah. It's not, okay? It's $20, 20 quid a month, $20 a month, whatever that equates to, wherever you guys are. It's £20 a month. That is it. It's never going to rise. It's never going to fall. It's there.
Whoa.
I highly doubt it.
Okay.
I highly doubt it. It's going to stay very cheap. It's not going to be like these ones where people are charging 250, 400, 150 quid a month, right? Because we know as retail investors, if you're, I think about myself back in the day, an apprentice was only 21, taking home maybe 1,500 quid a month. Then you've got your bills on top. You probably only got about 500 or 600 quid spare, if that. You can't then be affording to pay 200, 300 quid a month just to be part of a channel. Like, that's just not feasible. The whole goal of this is obviously to try and help you guys do what we do. So we will post the videos that we watch if they're free and available. We will post videos that we make together, even on our own, that how maybe we do technical analysis or how we do research, fundamental research. We might post like what we're watching this week, like a weekly watch list sort of thing. Like, there's going to be a lot of information in there. Obviously, we know that some people might have time or might not have time, but all the information will be in a separate, the VIP channel. Then off the back of the end of that, it will allow you to join a Crypto Waffle lounge where you can talk to the fellow wafflers of the VIP community, and you can talk to each other. If you want to meet up, go meet up, organize all this stuff. Like, we'll probably host some in-person meetups as well. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we're just going to try and make it a really good community where you guys can learn. That is literally the whole point of it. When we might put trades in that we do, not that we're probably advocating a lot of trades, because I think this space, people focus too much on fast money. But I think the whole ethos or thesis of it is, right, this is how you do the fundamental research, especially coming into a bear market. Like, I'm prepping for my bear market now because I know it's coming. There's no point in trying to prep for a bear market when we're in it. You got to prep beforehand. So we could put steps to prep for a bear market. Like, there will be all sorts of stuff in there for minimal funds, effectively. Obviously, once we get up and running, bear in mind we're going to have to have some sort of flow to it. If there's anything that we do miss that you guys want in, DM us. We can always add it. It's not the end of the world. So there's that side of things for that. But then we also have our new Lex Consulting, which is for what we class as our high ticket / high net worth individuals sort of stuff that we also have as well. Obviously, that is two totally different ends of the spectrum, but we both do it very well.
Yeah. And I'll just say, obviously, if in the future the price does go up, do not blame Alex. Purely because I'm being greedy, and and that'll be the reason.
They will only go up at the rate that inflation does. How about that?
Okay.
Then we'll take the
Argentina? Where are we talking? Venezuela?
UK inflation. That'll probably get worse going forward. But anyhow, I'm sure the knowledge that we give you guys in there will pay for that and more.
Yeah.
So
So basically, we're doing it mostly for the love, and the fee is pretty much.
Even though that's hard to believe in this space,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of people out there that do it just for the love. But
we do. Okay.
yeah, and finally,
final topic.
TON, the sleeper play of 2025.
Tell me all about it, Alex. Tell me
All about.
Let me run you through. Now, this, I would like to say, first of all, is purely technicals. There are no, and I mean zero, fundamentals involved, what I'm about to say. Obviously, you can come up with the fundamentals of, okay, in a flick of a switch, they've got 1 billion users on chain. We saw what happened with like Hamster Combat and Notcoin and all these things back over it in this time period, back in Q4 24 and Q3. Okay, so there's no fundamentals involved. There's a couple research papers out there, but I haven't managed to get my hands on any of them. Omosari have got one, but they're pro level only. And I think that was released in July 24, so it'd be a bit old anyway. There is one on Binance, but in the UK you can't get it, so you got to use a VPN to get that, but easy for everyone to use. So I haven't read through that yet, but I will get my hand on it. But from a technical basis, we'll go straight in. Now, for all of these charts, I have taken pretty much the top layer 1 / projects in the 1 to 20 in the crypto sphere per se. So that is, in this case, if we come to here, the top 1 to 20 projects. So I'm comparing it to the likes of Ethereum, XRP, BNB, Tron, Doge, Cardano, Link, like all of these things, and then some other big names that have been, say, the showstoppers of this cycle so far. So also bear in mind, so I will explain on this chart here, that when this chart goes up, or any chart I'm about to show you, if it's going up in any sort of fashion, that is TON outperforming said asset. So in this case, ETH. Okay, because we're looking at the TON ETH chart. If this chart is going down, that is ETH outperforming TON. So you can see here, this period, the ETH was outperforming TON until it broke. Okay. And the other thing to bear in mind is that this chart can go up and down, even if on the dollar value, TON goes up or down. So if TON and ETH are both falling, the one that falls less will outperform on this chart. So just through simple maths, ETH is a massive market cap coin. TON is very small. In a downturn, you'd suspect that TON falls more than ETH. So if both assets are coming down in USD, TON should underperform ETH, and this chart should move down effectively, because ETH will be the stronger asset to hold in a downturn, and then vice versa. In an upturn, TON you look to outperform. So on this chart, you look for it to go up. So now that we've gone through that, sorry if that was a bit technical. TON versus ETH. You can see here, and please bear in mind, we only have a certain amount of chart history because TON is still recently new. On its own chart against USD first, sorry, I didn't go through this one. We have had a nice channel since it come out, pretty much since April 22. And it's built this large channel over, or since that time. And at the moment, we are in the area where you'd like to see a bounce ready for the next phase. Now, obviously, if that is to break down, then you start asking questions, but we'll worry about that when it happens. So I'm not going to go down that road at the minute. TON ETH. This chart suggests that in the short term, we've broken this downtrend. We've bounced up. It looks like we're reclaiming this area of support, which is in green box. Ignore the numbers on the right-hand side. They literally mean nothing. You just want the general direction of the chart to show you what happens. Now, what you'd want to see is TON break this upper boundary of this channel here. A clear break of that shows you that TON is going to massively outperform ETH. If this is to break down, you're waiting for it to come onto support, and ETH will be outperforming TON until we come here. And that's when you'd want to see TON hold as support against ETH. If it doesn't, and it drops off, TON will underperform ETH massively. TON XRP. So for all you XRP balls out there, TON versus XRP is this. Now, what do I think will happen? Again, I could be totally wrong. I am wrong in the instance that this loses its lowest boundary and just falls off. If TON falls off here, that would suggest that TON underperforms XRP massively, and XRP will go on to outperform it. If TON manages to reclaim this white line here, which you can see with price support over here, that would suggest to me that TON is then going to be on its way to this upper boundary up here. So if TON does reclaim that, I'd be looking for TON to massively outperform XRP going forward. Obviously, remember, this can happen in USD value going up and down. Next one, BNB. Same sort of thing. There's two arguments here. You could say that this was the channel and it is already broke. This is your bearish retest. We've seen the continued selling, and you'd now look that to continue off effectively. But I think there's an argument to say that this could be the broader channel bottom here. Now, again, I am wrong in the fact that this falls below, and that just shows you BNB is outperforming TON. So in that case, you wouldn't look to swap your BNB for TON. Because the whole point of me looking at all of these against other assets is, okay, if I own Ethereum, if TON's going to outperform Ethereum, what's the point of me holding ETH? Right, it doesn't really make much sense. So I'd swap my ETH for TON.
Hold on, Alex, I need to get a glass of water. I'll be that in 2
So, mate, I'll continue to go through because there's a fair few charts. This is the TON Sol chart. This is the one I'm most interested in. As we know, Sol has been one of the chosen ones for this cycle. Okay, and I'm not to say that it's not going to, but what I am seeing here is the potential of an upside break. 2 patterns. Obviously, this is notoriously a bearish pattern, a flat bottom and a descending upper support, descending upper resistance line. I think the stat is about 70% of these break to the downside. So our odds are against us here, but I like to be a contrarian, so I'm more than happy to see which way this breaks. Now, I will personally not be doing anything with my portfolio until this shows me which way it's breaking. That's the beauty of charts. You haven't got to rush into anything. So what I'm seeing here is, one, this double bottom. Obviously, for that to play out, we need price to come back up to this level here. And then if we retrain that, the double bottom target, I believe, puts you to around this upper boundary up here of this green box. Okay. And the other thing I see is potential shoulder, head, shoulder, a diagonal. Don't put a lot of weight behind diagonal head and shoulders, purely because they work, I think, 85% better if they have a horizontal flat neckline, whereas this neckline is diagonal. So they're the 2 patterns I see. Obviously, what we'd be waiting for is a clear break in either direction. If we break to the downside, Sol will continue to outperform. If we break to the upside, I'm expecting TON to outperform. Doge. TON looks to have put in a nice bottom here on Doge. It's broken up. It is now retesting this key area of support, as you can see here, and over here, and then from these highs in here. If this holds and continues to the upside, I expect TON to outperform Doge going forwards. Tron. Again, a bit like the BNB chart, I believe there's an argument to say that this could have been the channel that's already broken. You had your bearish retest and continuation to the downside. But again, I believe there's a slight argument to say that it's just a broader wedge/channel forming here. And then if this does bottom out and starts to wake its way back up, you look for TON to come back up at this upper boundary at some stage. Obviously, what you'd like to see first is probably us clear this level here, and before you actually thought about moving any positions. TON Cardano, again, a bit like some of these other ones, is a bit like a broadening wedge. These are notoriously hard patterns to play/chart, because down here, you just have to have pure conviction and big balls to go into position with no technical support or anything there on the anticipation it comes back up, and vice versa at the top. If you were to look into it, once this gets to the top, sell out of TON to Cardano, you're thinking, hang on a minute, if this doesn't work, TON's going to massively outperform, I could lose thousands of dollars, if not more. But again, we've had a nice bounce off the lows. We've reclaimed this area of support at the moment, and it is holding. So the key thing here is to see if this holds. But what I'm expecting next is TON outperformance. TON Sui. So this is the one, and this is one I find is quite funny. I was at a Real Vision event in London last week, and obviously as a Real Vision community, Rao is on the Sui board. Everybody loves Sui. Everybody talks about Sui. I personally don't own any Sui, okay, and I'm happy to say that. I just don't. If this chart is correct, and I'm correct in what I'm seeing across the majority of these charts, and that TON is going to outperform these, and again, I could be wrong, as I've said, if charts break down or whatever, then that negates the thesis. TON could go on to be the darling of 2025, like Sui was the darling of, say, 2024 /23. If this support holds, I'd be inclined, if I own Sui, to sell it. Now, I don't, but I hold TON already. So that is what I'm seeing in this chart. Again, Wrong on the basis this rolls over and TON just starts collapsing against Sui. Same sort of thing, TON link here, but it's hard to define. We're just in a broader wedge. Wouldn't be looking to do anything until we're at either of the extremes. TON Tau, everyone loves Tau. Everyone loves AI, memes, all that sort of stuff. This cycle, as you know, I think they are still the biggest sectors, AI and memes, for this cycle. We've had a clear break of trend. We've had a clear break of trend. I'm now looking for the retest. If we come back down to here, I will personally be looking to trade my Tau for TON. If we get a nice clean retest of this and it shows continued strength to the upside. TON near. Now, this is an ascending support line here, as you can see, with a flat top. These patterns historically break to the upside 70% of the time. If that is correct, TON should massively outperform near. Now, again, I'd be waiting for this to form and break first. I'd be waiting for TON to get above this upper boundary where this white line is before I even think about doing anything else. Again, because we could just come into here and then bang, near could go on the outperformance. So it's all about monitoring these charts at the moment. TON H bar, again, nice flat bottom, rising upper boundary. The contrarian bet here is to come out of H bar into TON on the anticipation that we come back up to the upper boundary. Who knows? I'd look to confirm maybe a higher close above that area there, or where my cursor is, before even thinking about doing that. And then finally, TON ONDO. So everyone has been loving, obviously, RWA's deep in. ONDO is a great pick. Nothing wrong with ONDO. But what this is showing me, obviously, at the moment, ONDO is outperforming. But if this is to break to the upside, this would be classed as a falling wedge, and you would be targeting the upper boundary of this wedge, which would be where my cursor is there. So if that breaks on the upside, TON will look to outperform ONDO. And that is what I'm seeing. TON across the board, with a lot of these big assets, is coming to a make or break stage. Will TON become the outperformer or won't it? Now, one thing that makes me fundamentally bullish on this is that no one else is talking about it. No one. Like at the Real Vision event, it was Sui, Sol, Bitcoin, and Tron, not TON. And then I mentioned, oh, guys, have you had a look at the old TON Sol chart or TON Sui? And they're like, TON? What's Telegram got? Da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, I'm not even going to bother explaining. Like, you do you. But I am happy that no one talks about TON at all. Because that, to me, immediately screams underdog. Something's going on that we don't know about, that no one's covering, and that could come out at any moment and blow this shit off. Now, what I'm looking for is in those charts against those certain assets for obviously TON to show us which way it's going to break. Because I will, if it breaks that Sol chart of the lovely triangle, if it breaks to the upside, I'm out of Sol and into TON. Like, I'm not even going to bother holding Sol. And that's kind of what Rao did against the Sol Sui. Like, Rao was a massive Sol ball for ages. He then come out of Sol and into Sui. He did that on the only basis that the Sol Sui chart broke to the upside. That was it. So I think going forwards, TON is one to definitely have on your watch lists.
What sorts of things would you like to see from a fundamentals point of view happen with TON?
I would like to see on-chain usage ramp up again.
Yeah.
Like a lot of on-chain, obviously there's a lot of on-chain usage, high fees, and that generated back in Q3, Q4 last year. But when meme season was popping off, it was on TON as well. Like you had the likes of, what's it called now? I completely lost my mind.
T-Cat?
Yeah, there was T-Cat, there was, let me get them up. Redo, that was the other big one. There was Pavel Duvrov, meme coin. Like there was loads. And if you look at these TON memes, they are on the floor. If this breaks, not financial advice, but I'll be going to scrape some of them up.
It's interesting that there was also bots that you could like create a meme coin, like within your friendship group or in your group. You just click a couple things and you've created something, and you could trade there was apps also in Telegrams. There's a lot that you can do within Telegram itself for there to be an actual
There is. Yeah.
liquidity.
I think the other thing that people underestimate as well is the wallet. No one realizes that on their Telegram, they've already got a wallet inbuilt. Like no one.
I've never used it.
And it's easy. It's not even hard. I mean, it's not as easy as, say, Phantom, but you get the gist of it very quickly. And you can send, I think you can send crypto now to people's usernames.
Next week, do you want to do a tutorial for us?
I shall try my best to see if I can get one in. I'll have to do a bit of practice this week, obviously, because it's not my day-to-day wallet, but I think it's a thing people underestimate a lot, because there's also Ston, which I think is one of their biggest DeFi things as well. So that's a play to be looking at on the chain. But yeah, other than that, I think it's just one to keep on your radar. Obviously, I won't be doing anything until those charts show me which way they're going, because I'm not just going to blindly put everything in TON and be like, oh my God, is it going to happen or not? I'll wait for the charts to tell me.
Yeah, I like it. Your TA work is on point as usual, sir.
Thank you.
Shall we do our predictions?
Into predictions, right? Let me get the chart back up again. What do we want? We don't want that. Bullish trading view.
Victory lap.
Yes. Now, I was the contrarian last week in the face of Mega Bears.
Super Bears.
Yeah, Mega Bears. And obviously, we had our first guest as well, Ninja, on last week. Carl and Ninja were both bearish. So the Monday that we were on was indeed this one here that my cursor is on, as you guys can see. Now, we did, and I'm going to give it to both of you because you were only margins off. Like Ninja said 73.8, and you said 74k. We went to a low on the Monday of 74.458, and we went to a low on the Wednesday of 74.565. And then we also hit the upper boundary, which was my target of 84 as well. So wins all round there for us.
Right. Also, we did say, wouldn't it be nice if it came down,
and then went up
our target, and then went back up? And that's exactly
we did indeed. Yeah. ETH. So again, let me get rid of this line. Ninja's target was tapped literally to the T, and that was on the Wednesday. And that his target was what, 1400, I believe.
Yep, he said 14.
Yeah, and yours was 1300.
Yeah, I think I might have been a little bit emotional last Monday. To be honest.
I mean, you weren't a million miles off, but we can't give it to you. No. And then again, same to me, I wasn't a million miles off. I mean, we've been to a high of 1,000, call it 700. My target was 1,750. So, and Ninja was the only one that nailed ETH last week. So well done, Ninja.
Well done, Ninja.
So, now we were on the Monday. Now I can't remember. Let's have a look on the 4 hour. What time was it? It was 6 o'clock. It was
Well,
just before.
By the time we done ours.
So we would have literally been on that. Would we have been on that candle? Let's go to the hour. So it would have been 6 o'clock on the Monday. So yeah, here. So we were literally there then. Oh, that wasn't 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
Idiot. There it is. So we were up here. So unfortunately, Ninja, although it looks like on the daily, you tagged it. Unfortunately, you didn't. You were at 101.50. Your target was 95. So you weren't a million miles off. I mean, it's close. If we'd streamed a Sunday night, you would have nailed it.
Yeah.
And again, Crypto C, you were too mega bearish. That mega bearish last week didn't work out on Sol.
No,
unfortunately. But as a contrarian, I'd like to take a victory lap on the bounce to my target of 130, which we have actually broken through and went to 136. Then the two interesting ones, mighty fart. So back into the hourly. Where did we start on the Monday? So that's Thursday. No, that's way too far back. Monday the 7th. So we started there at 50 cents pretty much in this little dip here. We go back out to the daily. We find it on Monday. There it is. We started at 50 cents there. You guys were unfortunately a bit late again. So again, if we'd streamed the Sunday night, you would have had that dip, because that one I think we touched in the morning.
And then Fartcoin just decided to just go mental.
Yeah, it decided to go where I said it was going to go. Went smashed past my target of 63 and is now stuck at 89 cents. And this Head and Shoulders is now well underway and definitely targets the $2-ish area, give or take.
Yeah.
So if you did look at Fartcoin and thought we had to look a bit tasty last week, and you were on the bullish side with me, and you got in at 50 cents, you've done a tidy 75% in a week. Not
There was even
bad.
there was a couple of green hammers in there as well in the thing.
Where are we looking?
Daily. Left more. You can see that.
Oh, what, here?
Yeah.
Yeah, reversal signals. Well spotted. And finally into the Doge. Now, no one.
Look at my lines. Look. What's wrong with this guy?
So just to recap, we all nailed Bitcoin. Ninja nailed ETH, we didn't. Sol, I nailed, you guys didn't. Far, I nailed, you guys didn't. And then Doge, no one nailed.
Yeah, but you're close. You're close on Doge.
What was my target? 118.
18, yeah.
Yeah, so we've been to a high of 16.8. So not a million miles off, but unfortunately none of us nailed it.
Yeah, well, some of us left
Right.
than others.
Indeed. So let's crack on with this week's predictions. Where do you think we're going?
All right. I intend to be extremely serious this week.
No mucking.
I'm hoping you're going to do what I think you're going to do, because then I can go the opposite. So just for some context, I want to add another chart in here. This is what I'm looking at the moment. These are my technical lines. Not that it might look like a complete mess to some of you guys. Believe it or not, that means something to me. Look at these squiggles.
Yeah, understanding what you think we're going to move up to that buy box.
At some point, yes, but maybe not next week.
No. I think we're going back down. I think we have another. I think we have another down, and we're in this range. This is our range for now. So I'm going to be bearish again.
Where are you going to go?
78.
Ooh, 78.
78.
So I am actually of the bearish opinion this week. Believe it or not. And I was going to say 80. And I'm even gladder that we're now up at 85. So I think I'm going to say 80.5, like, to be precise, because I think I might go for the Bitcoin trade this week.
Okay.
Depending on what else we choose. But there we are for this week coming. Are we keeping ETH, or are we going to swap it out with one of the other ones?
We always swap ETH for Sol, don't we? Well, no, actually, let's do. We have to do Mantra, but
Really?
yeah, we have to. For the, should we do Ton?
Yeah, we can swap ETH out for TON.
Let's swap ETH out for Ton. Ton is a top 20, so no small boy stuff.
Right, so with TON, where do you think we are going?
Right, let me look up.
Let me look at my own. Let me look at my own one.
I'm going to say we can come and tap this fresh low again. 235. I don't know if is that not bearish enough, not bullish enough.
No, that's plenty. That's plenty. But it's like 20%.
It's still a decent move, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 17%. But then again, this is at a point where it could go to the upper boundary. But I'm going to have to base it off of what I think will happen with Bitcoin.
Yeah. I want to say let's say 240.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We're pretty much with each other there. Right, there's that. So what are we swapping that out for?
Really, Doge?
Yeah. Doge in place of Sol. So new targets for Doge this week. Where do you think we're going?
Can't even see bloody Doge. Where's Doge? Doge in the top 10. Bloody hell.
Yeah, it's 9, I think. It's always in the top 10. Don't underestimate the dog.
Yeah. What's this? Don't fade Doji.
I'm gonna. It's not a big enough move, is it? Though, really.
Yeah, but you want to say 14?
I was gonna say 15. It's only a 7% move. I mean, that could be a whole day. So I just don't think it's gonna go that low again.
Yeah. What have I said there? 14? Was that what I said last week? Yeah.
No, I've moved that. You were way below. You were like 12.
Yeah, I said 11, didn't I?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 14,320. Very specific.
Yeah, I was going to go 14, but I feel like that's not enough of a move. I like when it's a big move and you get it right, because then you feel like...
Yeah, we're not in the game of getting it right here, Crypto. So we're in the game of trying to get our $100 to 100,000.
Yes. But that's the serious part. So one of these I'll always take seriously. We've got to do that update, actually. All right, Doge, I'm going to say 14 then.
14. So you're pretty much coming in with me.
Yeah.
At 14. There we go. So you are slightly below. Right, what are we doing next? I would like to put forward SPX.
Go on then.
There's some interesting developments. I don't know which chart I've been looking at. So we'll get rid of Altcoin. Which chart have I been looking at? Was it this one or the other one? That's this one. So I've already got a trade idea. If people were in my free Telegram and you've watched my market update that I put out this morning, you'll know what I'm talking about. But XPS is at a point, and this trade idea for full transparency is on for a weekly / daily swing trade, not overnight millionaire status. But Altcoin, what do you think?
SPX, you mean?
Sorry, yes, SPX.
You've kind of give it away because you've showed the head and shoulders there, so I know
this bit. One key thing:
it's slanted.
It hasn't broken yet. It's not ready to go long. On my update, I'll let you guys in for a bit of added alpha, as we always do. I'm not in a long yet because I'm waiting for a break to the upside and then a retest. So at the moment, that is just the idea. That is not a trade. I do not have it on. But that is what I would look to do on a break and retest of this head and shoulders. So do you reckon we could break during this week?
Not if it's a bearish week, but
could it do a fart from last week?
Yeah, SPX is just it's a monster of its own, isn't it? Oh,
indeed it is.
I really don't want to bet against meme coin Jesus and his followers. 40 cents.
You're 40 cents, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't going to go as bearish. I was going to say here, 44 cents. And then finally, what would you like, sir?
Mantra, please.
OM, isn't it?
Is mantra or is it not?
Holy crap. What the fuck are we going to do here? Oh, God. You know what I mean? You have to be bullish here. There's no way in hell that I see this going next week. I mean, unless some other developments come out.
But even if they do, who are the sellers? That's the question. Even at 500 million, who are the sellers?
I'm targeting. Is that targeting there? That is around about 62% to the upside, and that is 78 cents, give or take. Is it 78? Yeah, there. That's definitely not my trade.
I'm going to say $1.
Oh, the mega ball.
I'm going to say $1. It's not even bullish. It's just like...
I can't be that much more downside.
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit oversold at this point.
All right. Oh, there they are. So just to recap, we both went bearish Bitcoin. Actually, let me get off this 2 hour. We both went bearish Bitcoin. I said 80k, 85, and you said 78. TON, again, we're sticking with our bearish biases. You went with 240, and I went with 235. Doge, again, bearish biases. I went for 14 cents, 14.3, and you went for 14. SPX, I went for 44. You went for 40. And then finally, OM, you went for $1, and I went for 78 cents. So over to you now with our trades. How did we get on?
Right. So we had a typically phenomenal trading week. So we had, if we look at our trade history, last week we had 3 positions on because we had a guest.
Yeah.
So our guest, who was Ninja T, he put.
Have we still got positions open, have we?
We've got 1 position open, which is your Doge position.
Close it quick. Let's lock in those gains.
Right. Let's.
A bit sad that we didn't get to the take profit, but we're in the green, and that's all that matters. Close it. Cha-ching! Let's go down the club and get some Dom Perignon.
You might get a glass or 2. Okay.
I think you get a glass of water with that. I don't really get much else.
So our available balance is now $54. We are down a staggering 50%.
45.
But we've had a good week. We've had a lucky week. So we had Ninja T had Solana as a short. He almost touched it. I think
literally margins.
Yeah, I think his take profit was.
Yeah, because that's what we were saying. If we were recorded the Sunday night, it would have been hit.
Yeah. Let's see if
timing unfortunately wasn't on our side there.
Yeah, so we did quite make it. I can't see where it is. I had an ETH short on, and I
tiled it.
Take profit, yeah, 14 because I put it somewhere because I was being serious. There was money.
You were at Ninja T's, weren't you? You were at Ninja's.
Yeah, I didn't go at my own because mine was a little bit wild. So luckily we hit the take profit, so we collected our profit. And you were in Doge. You didn't quite hit your take profit, but you was up and you closed with a profit of $3.82.
Lovely stuff.
So
So a good combined effort there. Yeah, it's really good.
yes, we've done well. The problem we've got is that when we started, we had some whopping losses.
It's because we had started with a bigger balance, didn't we? We've been doing 50% each time. We haven't been risk managing this appropriately. So what we should have done is set out a set amount of the dollars we'd be using every week. But we didn't. We've just gone full 50-50, gung-ho every week since.
And the moral of the story is protect your principal.
Yes.
But if you lose your principal, then even when you're winning less.
Yeah.
So that's
Indeed.
more of the story. Protect your.
So maybe once we've blown this, or if we get back to the where we started, we come up with our strict strategy.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
I can see this becoming more and more serious because now we're starting to look at it like, wait a minute, we should be at like $1,000 by now because we've had more wins than losses, but we just had our losses first.
Yeah.
So, okay. This week trades. Which one do you want to put on?
I would like to go for the Bitcoin one. I know percentage-wise is not the one to go for, but it's the one I have the highest conviction in.
So you're certain that we're going to see?
Let me just double-check, really. I'm not going to lie, Doge looks tasty.
Well, I think we can do Doge as well. I think Doge is available on here.
Or TON. I think they should all be on there. Is OM on there?
TON's on there, yeah. The Mantra's on there. Everything's on there.
OKEx.
Yeah, I think we've done SPX on here before.
Well, I'm gonna go Doge again. And I am targeting 14.5 short with a stop loss above fresh local highs at 17 cents. That's tight for me. That's really tight.
That is tight.
But I'm going to go with it. I have confidence.
Doesn't have to move far to tap you out.
No, it doesn't. But then again, it hasn't got to move too far to take profit.
True. Okay.
But I'm happy with that.
I am going to do. I want.
What is it? Why is that red line up at 25 cents?
I don't know.
It's not my stop loss, is it? Oh no, it just says liquidation price. Sorry.
Yeah, that one there.
Yeah, don't worry. Actually, no, we should have a stop loss on. Why is it saying liquidation price? So, guys.
Stop losses on that 17.
Yeah, don't worry. It's just me having PTSD.
Yeah, I don't know.
So when I blew up my BitGet account, I've always been scarred.
Right, so I want to do OM, you know.
That's a dangerous game.
I know.
Surely there'll be so many other longs and stuff in there. Like, but then to be fair though, we're low leverage, aren't we?
Yeah.
And like we've been saying the whole show, there's not much worse that can happen.
I just see it as some news comes out. He comes out and he says, "This is what happened. That's what happened. We're doing this next. We're doing that next." And people are like, "Okay, that's a buy signal. It's down so low. How much worse can it get?" And people just buy it, and it just up it goes.
Yeah, go for it. Let's do it. Let's hit them both with some confidence.
Yeah. Let's go. The thing is,
are we both on 3x? Are we not 2? Oh, that's no, my account's on too. Ignore me.
They're free. Okay. We're going for a long into a declining Bitcoin market. This is crazy.
Yes.
Okay, so
A contrarian bet.
yeah. Take profit will be at, what did I say? I said $1. You said 38. I'll take profit at 60.
60, yeah. I mean, I'd give yourself more leeway because I think on the news of something, you get a hell of a lot more upside than 60. I'd go between like me and you, I would have said. Maybe like 85 or something, 82.
85. If we hit this, we're back more.
Because I think you've also got to give yourself a bit of downside. Like, it can't be too far and it stops. I mean, I would have said maybe wrong under a fresh low, so it would have been like 35 cents. For what I'm looking at.
I was going to say 40. That's a big loss though, 50%. This one, there's a lot of risk on here, mate.
Yeah, but the risk to reward though, 215% upside for 50% downside. Yes, please.
Yeah. Worth it?
What's 35 cents if you just purchase out of interest, like percentage wise? I say that's. I think that's better.
35. If
It gives you wider margins.
gives you room to breathe.
But then again,
Losing 90% of half of our remaining bag could be.
go with your 40. Go with the 40.
Go for it.
I'm so used to just giving myself such wide margins that they never really get hit.
Okay. Winnable?
Yeah, 100%.
Let's go.
And we're in.
We are in.
We are live.
Let's look at our positions. We are short Doge and long Mantra. Let me write that down. We are
Absolutely brilliant.
Mantra.
There's people out there going, what the hell are you two doing?
Well, we've been winning recently.
And unfortunately for you guys, mate, we're having great fun doing it.
A short Doge. All right, a short Doge, long Mantra.
Yeah,
Fingers crossed.
let's go. Right, until next time, everybody, take care, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, next week I think we unveil the new Crypto Waffle website.
Yeah. That'd be good. Adios.